Hello YouTube, Jeff Steele here with SteelNavigator. Today I want to speak on the topic of credit card churning for beginners. This is a great way to increase one's income with a little bit of time investment, and there's really no downside to it if done correctly. So the name of the game here is pure profit. Okay, so number one, we want to only get into credit card churning if we have a great credit score, and that's anywhere from 650 to 850, preferably 750 to 850. At that stage, one has several lines of credit already open and a great history with credit. So what we want to do with any credit card is to always pay the balance off in full, the full balance of the statement every month. That way we don't pay any fees, any interest. We want no money coming out of our pocket that is absolutely necessary, of course, which is the expense on the card. So pay balance off in full on time. I've also heard that it's good to pay 2 to 3 business days before the actual due date. And that's because sometimes processing can cause issues and cause a payment to be late when in reality it was not made late. So 2 to 3 business days is always a safe threshold. So the next thing is we really want to go for the sign-up bonuses here. That's what we want. So we must have a sign-up bonus, 1, and 2, no annual fees. So again, no unnecessary fees. This is all about pure profit. And next thing is we don't put anything on the cards that we're not going to already be buying anyways. So for example, power bill, water bill, anything that is going to be purchased regardless of whether we put it on a credit card or have to pay with it cash. We're not going out on a shopping spree to spend $500 just to get a sign-up bonus. That's not what we're doing here. So basically, the cards we want to target, again, are no annual fees, and we want to go for the cash back. Usually those are the cards with the best sign-up bonuses. Being in the beginning stages of credit card churning, we want cash back. We want to be as liquid as we possibly can and maximize profitability as best we can. So for example, if your regular monthly expenses are $500, there are multiple card options out there whereby one spends $500 within the first 3 months. One would get $150 to $200 cash back on top of the regular percent back in cash that card already offers. So most cards might have 1, 1.5, sometimes 2.5, 5%, sometimes category based. But again, the beginning stages of credit card churning, we're just focusing on these sign-up bonuses. And there is a whole lot of cards out there that have sign-up bonuses. So we can really do this for a year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. It just depends on what your regular monthly expenses are and how quickly you can apply for new cards to put your regular expenses on and get those sign-up bonuses. So for me, average monthly expenses anywhere from expenses, groceries, fuel, power bill, water bill, just normal expenses anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So in my situation, I can get at least 3, maybe even 4 cards and just put $500 on each to get the sign-up bonus for each of those cards. So again, we don't want to open too many in 1 month. We want to open anywhere from 1 to say 4 in a month. Sometimes I will get declined if there's been too many hits on my credit or hard inquiries. Sometimes they will decline me. Although my credit score is about 800, it does happen, but again, there's so many credit cards out there available. There's always going to be one whereby they will accept the application. There might not be a big credit line on some of the acceptance letters, but again, as long as we meet that requirement, usually it's $500, $1,000, sometimes $2,000, $2,500 within a 3-month period, we get the sign-up bonus. So usually it's not an issue. But again, the name of the game here is pure profit. How much profit can we get? And also people think, well, that's going to hurt my credit score, opening that many lines of credit. And on occasion, it might knock it down a point or two. Long term, it's going to do nothing but help your credit score, number one. Short term, might knock it down a point or two, but the amount of profit that is available here is worth a point or two. Now, if you're fixing to buy a brand new car, which I do not recommend, or if you're fixing to purchase a home, you might want to hold off until you're locked in, the purchase is complete, the closing is done, then you can start churning your credit cards, because you're probably not going to be making any large credit-based purchases in the future, more than likely. And again, the name of the game here is pure profit. The next thing is organization. We want to focus on one card at a time, meet the limit that we need on that one card. Say it's $500, and then we put that card in a file. We never close a line of credit, ever, ever. For example, closing one credit card could knock your credit score down 50 points. I've heard of that happening. We never close a line of credit, ever. So meet the requirement. Say it's $500. I spend $500 on this credit card. I put it in a file. And when the due date's due on that payment, I pay that card off. Of course, after getting my sign-up bonus, it's easiest just to do a statement credit. So pay that card off, put it in a file. I have a folder for current credit cards, which are the cards that are not paid off yet, and then I have an archive file. The archive file is only for cards that I have already got my sign-up bonus, I've paid that card off, there is a zero balance, that goes in the archive file, goes in a vault, somewhere safe. What stays in the current is cards with a balance, where I've not yet had to pay that balance. We want to wait until the due date on that, a couple business days before. Okay, so again, we can do this over and over again, as many times as we can. I think the Guinness Book of Records, there's a person that has over 1,000 current credit cards, if that puts things in perspective. Now, there have been situations here where credit card companies are catching on to the churning. So if you act now, there is money to be made. For example, I think maybe CITI, maybe it's Citi, I'm not sure. I heard that the sign-up bonus, although the spending requirement might be met within the guidelines, I've heard that it's not redeemable until 48 months. That might be one situation where credit card companies are starting to crack down on the sign-up bonuses. Okay, now let's say one has exercised all of the sign-up bonuses with the cashback cards. Then we can start to focus more on the percentages for individual categories and overall value, as far as how many percents, or what percentage are you getting back on a dollar spent? Is it net? Is it gross purchases? There's a lot of details to look into that. But again, we're right now in the beginning. This video is about the beginning. Credit card churning for beginners. So we're focusing on pure profit. That is sign-up bonuses, going from card to card to card, putting normal expenses on just to get the sign-up bonuses. The expert credit card churners, they're at the level where they've probably already got most of the sign-up bonuses out there, and they're focusing on the percentages where the categories change quarter to quarter, and then it gets much more complex. being able to track what card pays the highest percent in what categories. That's where we have to create spreadsheets and such. But again, the beginning stages, we're just focusing on sign-up bonuses, going from card to card to card, putting normal expenses. I'd say at the most expert level, it's getting into not just the categories and the percentages, but also the travel cards, where we start to see annual fees and such, and that's where we have to really weigh the fees, the expenses with the card versus what are we getting back in return? What's the return on investment there? But again, for beginners, let's focus on cashback cards and sign-up bonuses. A great website to check out is nerdwallet.com. I'm not affiliated with the website, but it's a great place to go and search for cards to make sure that you're applying for no fees, cash back, and you can double check the sign-up bonuses and the requirements to meet the sign-up bonus there. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's start a conversation on this. What great credit cards do you know of that whereby we can maximize our profit as far as credit card churning? I hope this helps. Have a great day.